Right, so I'm starting a new painting and I thought I would do a video vlog or something step by step of how my process works. I don't know, thought you guys might be interested. So here we are starting with a fresh new canvas. I'm really excited. It is, I can't remember how big this thing is anymore, 36 inches by 24 inches. So it's pretty big. It's actually too big for my easel. It's only come to here. It's kind of ridiculous because it's going to fall off at some point. The cat will knock it off. So for this painting I have decided to do a circle. I was inspired in the shower, so I decided to make a weird circle, dark gradient up on the outside of the circle, and dark gradient down inside the circle. And maybe some nails, I don't know, we'll see. So I start most of my paintings by measuring. I try to do things halves and thirds, just for a sense of balance, at least an attempt at balance. So I need to measure approximately halfway across. There. There. And I want to measure a third the way down, which is also 12 inches. So that is going to be the center of my circle. Better ruler around here. I'm starting to feel like my real art ruler is a figment of my imagination because I can never find it, so dollar store ruler is going to have to work. That's my circle, roughly marked. I don't have a compass, so I'm just going to try and sketch this in by hand. Behold, the circle. Right, so the next part will be adding a lot of paste. I have crackle paste, which is my personal favorite. I have this huge fucking tub of modeling paste, which is about half gone already, because I just use a lot of it. And I think that's... Nope, that's not paste. I have this interesting ceramic stucco medium. I have mixed feelings on this. It kind of, when it dries, it's really smooth, and I'm not sure. I've only used it in one painting. Where did it go? Yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of it because when the paint dries on the crackle paste, it's very matte, but when it dries on this, it's pretty glossy. I don't think I'm going to use this stuff today. Alright, it's modeling paste time. And this shit's gonna get messy, so it's time to put on the apron. 6 apron. So for this one, I'm still not quite sure how I'm gonna do this, because I'm going to just use the modeling paste and the crackle paste, and maybe some of my opaque flakes texture because it adds gives a more toothy touch to it. And I like that. So I'm thinking, I want a lot of crackle paste down here because, I mean, in the end there's going to be, maybe I haven't decided if I want nails coming down yet, but I know there's going to be some leakage, and I like leakage to seep into cracks. It makes me happy. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put, I was originally thinking of doing crackle paste around the outside of this as well, so it kind of looks a bit like an eclipse with rays coming out. I'm not sure how much I even want to define this circle with the paste, but I have to do it a bit, otherwise I'm not going to be able to see the edges of my circle in order to paint. Come on, lid, close. Alright, please meet Loki, he's my little helper. He's going to inspect, make sure I do everything right. And get fur and everything, of course, because that's his special skill. Alright, so I'm going to start with the crackle paste at the bottom. I have a thing left of this. Probably gonna use the whole thing. Stuff is expensive. It's about $27 per jar. I love it. The great thing about crackle paste is that when it dries, it starts cracking. That looks really fucking hot. And one thing I've learned about crackle paste is that you can sort of guide the direction the cracks go in, depending on the way you lay it down. I'm gonna try and get the cracks. I'm gonna try and get it going this way. And the thicker you apply it, the wider and deeper the cracks go. So depending on what kind of effect you want, you can either put it on really thin for a lot of small, fine cracks, or you can lay it on really thick for the big cracks. So that's about good for now. As well as crackling, you can also kind of work a few air pockets into it, really rough up the surface as you're applying it, because the way this stuff dries when it cracks, and it also has a really, I don't know how to describe it, it's a really nice texture. It's very porous texture, I guess I'm trying to say. So the way the paint goes onto it it's really unique compared to the other pastes that I use. You have to move. Come on. Slide down. I need your fur in this. Try and work a bit of texture into it as I go. Mix it a bit with the edge of the crackle paste that's already applied, just so they flow into each other a bit better when it's dry. Fill in a little bit with some more crackle paste. Just really blend them together. The reason I'm doing that is not only for the cracks to, when the two pastes are mixed together, the cracks won't be as deep and prominent, and they might not crack as much, but also just the fact that the crackle paste has a completely different texture and it holds the paint differently when it dries, as opposed to the regular modeling paste. So if you blend them together, the transition isn't as noticeable once the piece is done. Yeah, I'm liking more and more the idea of leaving the canvas here plain and just texturing around it. So right now I'm just building up the edge around the circle. So there's a bit more definition in texture. And again, just as a guide to help me paint this as well. Okay, so now the canvas has been completely covered in paste and texturized the way I would like it. The next step is to let it dry, and at that point this will all crackle. After that, I will cover the entire thing with gesso, white gesso. That will just serve to even out the variations in the texture between the crackle paste, the modeling paste, and the canvas. It just helps, and it just helps the paint to be applied more evenly, so you can't tell as much that there are different kinds of pastes and products on it. I won't cover that in part 2. We'll just skip right to the painting in part 2 of the blog, and that should hopefully be really exciting, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!